To be sending signals, it may reconsider plans to deploy a radar system in Europe. US officials have hinted they want more negotiations with Russia on the issue. And Washington says it needs the shield to protect against attacks from countries like Iran. Well, for more on this, I'm now joined in the studio by Viktor Mizin. He's a military expert from the Moscow Institute of International Affairs. Thanks very much indeed for joining us. So, are we seeing the signs of a U-turn from Washington and maybe these anti-missile defense plans being scrapped?
In the sense of euphoric Obama mania, we know that many patent arms controllers who now have entered the administration are a very restrained attitude toward the AMD plans, traditionally.
The US perceives Iran as a threat. What's Russia's position on Iran?
I would say it's a friendly state for Russia. Russia is in constant dialogue with Iran, advising it to comply with its international obligations.
So, bearing in mind that Iran is largely isolated by the West, what is Russia's position then? Is it seen as a mediator on behalf of the international community?
I think, yeah, and it's being put forward by the West and by the United States in this role.
And so it's not putting perhaps Russia on a collision course with the US by the fact that Russia is being friendly with Iran?
No, I don't think so, because I think that the clever people in Washington understand that Russia has vested interest in Iran because it's an ally, in a sense, strategically, or a friend, and a neighbor. So I think it's just natural that Russia is extending some commercial projects in this country.
What about these plans for an anti-missile defense system in Eastern Europe? Do you think they really will go ahead, or will there be a compromise?
I'm pessimistic. With so much money having been invested into this, like 100 billion, of course it would develop as any kind of innovative military technology, unfortunately.
Yeah, but then what would that do with relations with Russia? Because everybody's so excited about the fact, as you say, of Armenia, saying that, relations will improve between.
We only hope that probably a meaningful dialogue would also start on the issues of AMD between the United States and Russia, so it's some kind of euphoria, or I would call it restrained optimism in Moscow regarding this.
But you wouldn't see a compromise where perhaps those systems could be placed elsewhere, apart from Eastern Europe, somewhere else, on a mutually agreed ground?
Diplomacy is based on the compromises, and I think that the way out could be found.
So we're going to see talks going on and on. I mean, for the last 2 or 3 years this has been going on.
No, I think that the Bush administration had a pretty much different attitude toward the arms control in general. So many people are really hoping that this arms control process would be reloaded with Obama coming into power.
We shall wait and see. Yeah. Victor, thanks very much indeed for joining us.
Thank you.
As always, good to see you here on RT. That's Viktor Mizin, military expert from the Moscow Institute of International Relations.